I am not a distracted driver because I'm just setting my laptop like that. And I'll just talk to you as I go. So, this is Scenic Route, Tribal Scenic Route 7 on an Indian reservation in South Dakota, the Cheyenne and Sioux, and the two tribes excuse me. The two tribes used to be independent, but they formed an alliance. This road was told to be low maintenance. So it said travel at your own risk. And I said, okay. Do you know what's exciting? I'm going to be able to see a Sitting Bull monument that many people who don't ever travel onto the Indian reservation ever get a chance to see. Through my travels, I've taken many state routes as opposed to interstates. And one thing the interstate system does is it takes hills like these out of the way. So you aren't even enjoying the contour of the land. This is probably one of the most beautiful areas that I've ever visited. It reminds me of California in parts. It reminds me of a region with a lot of lakes. This is definitely the better way to travel. Yeah, it's not paved, and you go a little bit slower, but when you're like me and you don't have any time frame, and tomorrow's the 4th of July, I'm very comfortable hanging out here. What I was waiting for at a scenic outlook was for a vehicle to come by, because I want to help dispel the theory that the truth that we've been to the moon. We have never been to the moon. And the dust kicked up on a dirt road proves it. Because if a moon rover were on a surface where there are no clouds, no atmosphere, no rain, there would be a lot of dust kicked up. And because the gravity is supposedly only 30% of Earth, it would hang in the air for a really, really long time. You know, kind of the way it does on Earth. But we supposedly have 70% more gravity. Or, what would that be? 300%. Or 3 times? Anyway. not here to do math. I'm here to do science, which is partly math. The thing to remember is this. $10 billion goes from Congress to agencies like NASA, SpaceX, the Air Force, Space Force, Blue Origins. But you know what's not counted? All of the money that the Department of Defense spends with Halliburton and Raytheon and all Northrop Grumman, all of these military-industrial complex companies who are working with the exclusive rights and ownership of alien technology. So the more money that's put behind keeping this technology secret, the more the people get shafted. And important scientific development is thwarted in the name of national security and building extremely dangerous weapons. Weapons that I believe that since the year 2000 have been turned on the aliens that we stole it from. The evidence I have of that would be our government using some of the technology to perform 9/11, the demolition. There is no way that all of that metal simply disintegrated. It's impossible. So, I don't know. So, how many billions of dollars goes to those military-industrial complex companies every year that are working on this alien technology? Another 10 billion, maybe? Or would it be more? Or is that information top secret? So, our country has a lot of money stored up in savings. So, we'll never know the truth of how much money is being spent to keep the truth about first contact secret. But people need to first understand that we've never been to the moon. We've never, ever been there. And experiences on Earth that look too similar to a moon experience proves that it was faked, that it was a hoax. Today, 30% of the Earth believes that we've never been to the moon. At the time of the Apollo 13 mission, 10% did not believe that we've been to the moon. So in 55 years, we've gained 20%. That's really sad because of how easily the moon hoax can be proven as a hoax. And to help people understand the truth, going to create a picture book for all ages. And I'm going to do it this week because I had a personal goal of getting it done by the full moon. And I'm going to do my best to keep to it. The book will accurately depict history. And there might be a whole series. We'll call it Remembering History the Right Way. Or something catchy like that. I taught history for 10 years to 8th graders. And I have to tell you, what's in the book is wrong. And there are many instances where a narrative trumps the truth. I was sick of it then when I taught. So I taught it the correct way. And the students that I had at Starling Middle School will back me up on that. And tell me that they've learned the right way or they've learned the right history by being in my class. Well, now my classroom is full of people who don't want to believe the truth. So, in order to help them pass the test, I'm going to have to create a textbook. The best way to do that is by creating a picture book and including QR codes for the adults. And I'd love to find a pop out or pop book, pop art, pop illustrations, to do some 3D stuff. And the QR codes will be embedded and kind of hidden in the pictures, so that it's not really noticeable to the kids, but it is accessible to the adults. Why would I want to do this? Well, if the adults are reading these stories to the children, how enthusiastic is the reader going to be if they don't believe the story? For instance, on May 30th, 1969, we didn't go to the moon. That would be the tone of somebody who doesn't believe the story. Now try this. One day in July, way back in 1969, we never went to the moon. But the television stations and radio stations all say we did. It's a very different story. But it's the same narrative, isn't it? So, I'm going to craft belief through pictures, and I'm going to use video, NASA video footage of the moon. I'm going to use pictures of supposed capsules that have been there. I'm going to use photographs of the space shuttle. I'm going to include the International Space Station, which should be renamed International Low Earth Orbit Station. Blackfoot, 3 miles. I need to figure out where I'm going. So, that's all you get to see.